Hey, what's up, guys? So, here's something I've been thinking about a lot. So, coming from the fight world, there was a point in fight training when I knew that I had the skill, I knew that I had the potential because I could rip it up on the pads, I could destroy a punching bag. But then when I got into the ring and I started sparring with people, I realized that I wasn't performing to the best of my abilities because of fear and doubt. Now, obviously, fighting and golf are two very different sports. No one's trying to hurt you on the golf course, at least I hope not. But that said, the role that fear and doubt play in your performance, they're both there. They're both extremely present. So in fighting, it took time, it took work, it took reps, it took as much time as possible in the ring, right? I could spend all the time I wanted in pads and on the punching bag, and that was good to perfect my technique, but I needed to get in that ring. I needed to face down my opponents. I needed that experience to feel more and more comfortable so that I could stop allowing fear and doubt to prevent me from performing to the best of my abilities. And eventually it happened. Eventually I was able to let go of the fear, let go of the doubt, and suddenly the results started to show. So with golf, I feel like it's a very similar type of situation. And I've actually spoken about this with, beginner golfers all the way up to professional golfers. I feel like there's two stages in golf, and this is something I've recently experienced, especially this year, which is the first mental state you'll have in golf when you're starting off is that you're standing over the ball and you're probably expecting to hit a bad shot because golf is really hard. So you're standing over the ball, you're expecting to hit a bad shot, and you're so pleasantly surprised when you end up hitting a good shot, but not surprised when you hit a bad shot. You're frustrated, but you're not surprised. But then as you put in the work and you gain some experience, now all of a sudden there are more and more moments on the golf course where you're standing over the ball. For example, I have the 8 iron right here. If I was on the fairway right now and I was on a nice flat lie, I'm expecting this ball to be well struck and to go towards my target. It may not be perfect, but I'm expecting a specific result. Why? Because I feel confident that I can do this, because I've done it before. But then there's still moments where, for whatever reason, that little bit of doubt, that little bit of fear, that little bit of anxiety will creep in and will prevent you from playing to the best of your abilities. And I honestly believe this is true for players of all levels, including the best players in the world. When you see one of the best players in the world miss a shot, right? They hit a horrible pull to the left, or they push it to the right, or they duff a chip because they're under pressure. That's a lack of mental training. It's a lack of mental focus. It's not because they're physically incapable of performing the shot. It's not because they're technically incapable of performing the shot. I would argue that golf is 100% mental, because when you think of it, the mind is what controls everything else, right? The mind is what controls my nervous system. My nervous system is what controls my muscles. My muscles are what allow me to perform a golf swing. So obviously I need to put in the reps. I need to have good technique. If I'm capable of hitting a beautiful 8 iron draw most of the time, then I should be able to hit it all of the time. The only thing preventing me from doing that is my mind. So moving forward for me, and as a coach, what I want to bring to this sport is to give people the ability to be 100% focused, 100% confident that when they're standing over the ball, they're going to hit the ball to the best of their ability. Now that ability comes from the work that you invest. It comes from the time that you stand outside in the really cold weather, wearing gloves that you probably wouldn't wear on the golf course, putting in the reps, because you realize that you need those reps to build that confidence so that once I'm on the golf course and I have this shot in front of me, I don't have to think. I can rely on the work that I invested. But at the same time, if I don't have the mental tools to let go of fear, let go of doubt, take control of my nervous system, then I'm decreasing my chances of hitting a good shot. Hitting a bunch of balls on the range, that's not enough. Playing a lot of golf, that's not enough. If that was enough, then most of us who play a lot of golf would all be excellent golfers, right? The reason a lot of us fail and the reason a lot of us don't play to the best of our abilities is because of the mind. But a lot of us aren't doing the mental training We're not doing the breath training. We're not learning how to focus our minds so that we're able to take control of our nervous systems and take control of our bodies to ensure that we're performing to the best of our abilities once we get on the golf course, and especially in those high pressure moments that professional golfers or high level amateurs are going to experience. I mean, I've been talking to a lot of golfers who not only play for a living, but who are hoping to get to that point where they can actually play and make enough money with golf so that becomes their life. And I'm always shocked to find out that some of these players who are very serious about getting to that next level, but as soon as I bring up the work that they do in the gym, not really. As soon as we talk about mental training or breath training, they're not all that interested. And yet they're still struggling to get to that next level. And they'll go to the range and they'll hit more balls and they'll go see their coach and they'll tweak their swing or they'll change their clubs. So they'll do all the things that I think has typically been done over the past whatever hundreds of years that golf has been around. And I know that mental training and breath training and even physical training for golf, which is relatively new when you look at the history of golf. I think it was Tiger Woods who really brought this idea of golfers can spend time in the gym. But the work you put in the gym is absolutely going to help build your confidence when you get on the golf course. The time you spend breath training will build your confidence when you get on the golf course. Your ability to visualize, your ability to take control of your nervous system, your ability to take control of your fight or flight response. These are all things that are going to help you perform to the best of your abilities once you're on the golf course. So as a player and as a coach, this is what I want to do. And the reason I'm creating this video is more for myself than for everyone else. I just figured I'd post it in case anybody who's listening wants to hear this. But as a coach who's relatively new to the sport, but who's been, studying performance coaching and training for so long, I've been trying to figure out, what is it that I can bring that's unique? What can I bring to this sport that's different, but that's going to help players really achieve that next level of performance? And this is it. It's teaching players how to fight when they're on the golf course, teaching players how to get 100% mentally focused when they're standing over a shot, teaching players how to take control of their nervous system, take control of stress, take control of anxiety in those high pressure moments, and realizing that all of that performance, all of it is physical, all of it is mental, because it's your nervous system, it's neurochemicals, right? When you're stressed, when you're nervous, when you're afraid, whatever it is you're feeling on the golf course, those are just neurochemicals that are balanced a specific way that are making you feel those things, which are making you think those thoughts. But all of that can be switched over. All of that can be taken control of through breathing, through visualization, through mental training. So yeah, kind of ranting here, but my goal is to work with players who want to achieve that next level and who understand that in order to do that, they're going to have to be willing to get out of their comfort zone. They're going to have to be willing to try some new things that maybe they've never tried before. They're going to have to learn how to push themselves in the gym. They're going to have to learn how to breathe and how to meditate and how to visualize and how to focus their minds. But if they're willing to take that journey, they might be able to get to that next level. They might be able to unlock that potential that they know they have. And I've spoken to a lot of really good golfers who keep telling me the same thing, which is, I know I'm good enough, but once the pressure's on, I have a really hard time stepping it up. I have a really hard time focusing to perform to the best of my abilities. So my message to you is, if you want to get to that next level, then, I don't know, let's get in touch, okay? Because I really want to work. I want to work with golfers that are passionate about performance. I want to work with golfers who, like me, at 50 years old, you don't have to be 50, I'm saying I'm 50, and I'm just starting now to realize that I still have a really long road ahead of me when it comes to becoming the best golfer that I can be. And I'm excited about that journey. I'm excited about that process because I love putting in the work and I love putting in the physical reps, but I also recognize how important it is to train the mind and to use all this knowledge that I have about mental training and bringing it to the game in order to get to that next level. So yeah, so if any of this resonates with you, if you are one of those golfers that I described, someone who's struggling, maybe you're on one of the professional tours and you're struggling to get to that next level, you're missing cuts, you're not making money, you feel like you have all this potential that you're struggling to tap into because when it counts, you can't seem to perform to the best of your abilities, then you need to reach out to me. We need to talk and we need to see if this type of coaching is what you need to get you to that next level. So that's it for me. That's it for now. I just need to put in some reps. I'm going to be experimenting also with some new working on, I don't know how to really describe it. I guess I call them flow triggers, which are different ways to get in the zone when you're on the golf course. So stay tuned for those. I'll be actually filming tomorrow. I'm heading out on the golf course and I want to experiment with a few things. Just about the mental training, just about the mental game, and ways to get locked in and make sure that you're 100% focused when you're about to hit your shot. So if any of that stuff is interesting to you, subscribe to the channel, follow, like, subscribe, share, do all the things you do on social media. Stay tuned because, man, I'm so pumped up for this. I am so dialed in for this. I really believe that in golf, we're going to be able to achieve a next level of performance that hasn't even been seen yet. And I want to be part of making that happen. So that's it for now. Have an amazing day. Peace.